Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a best of 5 between Clem and Rogue. The man, the myth, the legend, in my opinion currently the greatest Terran versus Zerg player in the world, and perhaps the best Zerg versus Terran player in the world. Rogue has this uncanny ability to make late game ZVT look a little bit busted in favor of the Zerg. He has a lot of different styles that he uses every single unit that is there, like all the ingredients that he has at his disposal get popped into one fat meal that he eats and then poops on top of the Terran's head. And the Terrans have not been enjoying it very much. He's an extremely impressive player in the Zerg versus Terran matchup in particular. Solid mechanics, and like I said, like completely understands what needs to be done. Now, I feel like this first kind of started popping off when he started with the Mass Overseer stuff. So for the people that are not aware, Rogue has been playing a lot of Mass Overseer gameplay in the Zerg versus Terran late game. It would go up to like 30, 40 Overseers, spams Changelings around the map for insane amounts of vision, as well as just blocking key areas with the Changelings. As a Terran, you're constantly just looking for Changelings to snipe, but because there's so many freaking Overseers, it's really just your day job right now, and you're not getting paid for it, let me tell you. Okay, this is going to be this was a gasless opener, I think, out of him. It's going to add that second gas. We have Roach War and Evo Chamber. As a follow-up, we have a set of links out here as well. And this has been, honestly, a build that's just been really popular on the ladder and also in tournaments as of late. There's a couple of maps where it's particularly strong on. Whenever the third base is pretty close to the natural, we're going to be seeing a lot of this build here. We're going to get a potential drive-by here, though. Was no drone in the wall. This is why frequently we see drones being placed in the walls, because if a Reaper Hellion drive-by is going to happen, it usually happens against queens in the wall. You can bounce them away with a grenade, then you can drive by, you can get a lot of drone kills. And as Hellions are not actually that useful later on in the game, this is the most utilized way, or this is the way that most of the time the Hellions are utilized, like just to kill drones. Like if you can trade these Hellions away for drones or mining time, it's a good deal for sure. A follow-up is going to be Banshee. We see the Cloak, we see, I think the first Banshee is already on the way out. Yep, there we go. Extra barracks coming in, E-base coming in as well. So Clem is not slowing down behind this. Already has his 8 worker kills as this Banshee is now going to head in towards the main base. We have 6 queens out in total. Spores going down in every single base as the first tumor is going to get sniped. And I think we are just heading into a pretty standard macro game from here on out. What are we seeing with this factory? Look at that. Just floating. It's waiting until this tech lab becomes available so he can plop his fat ass down there. Get a couple of siege tanks out. That's going to be the plan, usually against Roach openers. Don't have any upgrades yet here, by the way. No +1 range, no carapace, no glial reconstitution. I think a lot of it has to do with the, losing the 8 drones. Have a little bit less gas mining, perhaps. We also don't have a fort base yet, which actually does suck. So the way that these builds tend to work from the Zerg perspective is you go up to 66, 68, 69, 70 drones. You get a bunch of roaches out. 10, 12, 13, 14 roaches, and then you pop off with the drones. Bam! Instantly. Go, go, go. You don't wait for anyone. Just pumping roaches like your life depends on it. And then you drone back up. But if you don't have a fort base, it's just going to be units for a very long time, right? Because there's no real reason to start long distance mining if you don't have a nearby hatchery. This, by the way, is a really far away hatchery. Holy crap. 1, 2... like 4 tumors away from the third. That's pretty far. I'm always surprised to not see this hatch being taken, as we do get a couple more kills on the Banshees, but I guess it has something to do with this general positioning. If you don't get the rocks down, you don't take out these mineral patches, like there's some gnarly positions, I guess, that the Terran can take. Even down here, like you have a tank over here, like a tank in the back. This just seems like a good attacking angle in general, like tank down here, drop in the main base. Would not want to be a Zerg here on this map. Also has the healing location in this particular spot, by the way. This is a healing gate. You can put units there and they get healed. You can put 10 units at the same time and they're all getting healed. Very powerful, I think, for medevacs, for tanks, units you usually want to repair. Just quickly fly them over. So in my mind, this is definitely a Terran favored feature. But we're going to have to wait and see. It's going to move into a speed zone over here. Well, like just the speed street, basically, as we call it. Speed Street, baby. It's not because you can buy illegal drugs there, but because it all has acceleration zones. It's going to allow these Marines to micro quite well. 1-1 isn't done yet, but neither is the 1-1 here for Rogue, As the 1-1 will finish up first for Clem. He's going to get a slightly better trade here as a result. We have the tank in the back dealing a lot of damage. But we will be forced to pick off and boost away pretty much. And also get some high ground tank position. Like, there's just a lot of good spots on this map. I don't actually love Rogue's like general eco position right now in the game. 72 to 69 is not great. But Rogue seemingly is okay with these types of things. Why is Rogue seemingly okay with these types of things? Well, to be honest, as long as Rogue gets into a late game, he often is just going to be fine. Rogue's Zerg versus Terran is very reminiscent of Serral's Zerg versus everything. Like, for a very long period of time, Serral would be okay giving up big mid-game advantages just to get into a late game, even from an inferior position. Like, ideally from a better position and frequently just winning the game in the mid-game. But frequently he'd also be like, okay, you're probably going to attack me to try to make sure we don't go into a late game. I'm just going to cut 10 drones here. I'm going to cut 8 drones here, get another set of roaches, just to be certain. And then once he gets into the late game, he's so powerful there that it doesn't really matter that he's down those 8 drones. Like, he's going to make up for that with superior fights, better army movement, better overall unit control. As one of these medevacs is going to get cleared. Hydra's not there in time to deal with the other 3. At the same time, we have the double Banshee once again coming in. They have been healed up. Oh, that's so powerful here. You can just fly into this healing zone. You can harass and heal, harass and heal, harass and heal, giving these Banshees a way longer like activity time, basically. They need to retire way later if you have a map with this type of healing spot on. I really think this is quite powerful for Terran. I really do believe so. You can get a lot of weird trades going. Like, deal a little bit of damage here to these queens, then just fly away, come back, deal a little bit of damage to those queens. We have more Hydras on the way as we're playing pure range Carapace as well. No Infestors yet. Seismic Spine is going to be up next. It's going to get Metabolic Boost out. That is interesting. Gets a Parasitic Bomb onto these units. Yeah, I mean, these benches have just been getting so much done, right? Like, infinite kills. This guy has 15 kills right now. Just managed to deny a 5th base. We're 9 minutes into the game, almost 10 minutes into the game. And, I mean, the fact that Rogue doesn't have a 5th base is extremely worrying. Like, even for someone with his talent in the late game, I think that is very, very worrying. I don't think I've ever seen Clem lose a late game that has such a good start. I mean, he's maxing out quicker than his opponent, who has a crap ton of roaches in the mix. And as we know, roaches are really cheap, and they kind of inflate supply. Like, at 75-25 cost for 2 supply, like, yeah, that's gonna pump those numbers up real good. Pump it, baby. As we're gonna get 2 more command centers into the mix as well over here. So 5th base is gonna be pretty imminent here for the Terran. Tries to snipe a Hydralisk. We're gonna get that the triple pickup. As now the healing location has been secured by at least 1 lurker, so that's something. At the same time, we have a triple drop heading out towards the far left. Good Spore defense here in the middle. The thing about a Spore defense is that it is as strong as its weakest link. So if you don't have anything here, this is pretty useless, because high-level players are always going to find that hole, right? That is the thing. They're going to check, hey, where can I actually fly? And is there a space? And if there's not, they won't, they won't commit. And if there is a space, they're just going to commit and have no trouble whatsoever. Luckily, Viper was in position in time. He's perhaps going to go back to try another Parasitic Bomb over here on that right side. These units could just fly over, I think, to at least get a little bit of healing going on them medevacs. It's not what he's doing. He's right now dropping on top of 4 lurkers. It's not really the dream scenario in my mind. This 6th base is going to get denied as well. No cancel on it. And Rogue does not have that much cash. So, yeah, that is a little bit scary. Medevac is going to get taken out. Splash does not manage to clear this medevac that has 3 HP left. Roach Hydra is going to push this back as the ghost count is ever growing. And thus boosting these types of armies here. It's going to chase perhaps with a couple of snipes as well. Or it's just going to continue auto-attacking. For now, it's just going to be auto-attacks all the way through. There's no 7th base, or 6th base, sorry, to deny. Clem is just going to pull back. He's like, hey, I'm going to be on 5 bases. I'm taking this forward base, and I love this. This is pretty much a shoe-in, right? This base later on, you can't really attack up to this. Like, there's going to be a ramp, maybe even a 2nd planetary, get like 2 tanks. This is safe. This base might be a little bit more tricky. and you want to crawl towards this gold base. Because this gold base is the neutral base that we really care about as the Zerg player. If the Zerg gets to take that, gets to mine that out, it becomes a much harder late game for the Terran. Get a couple of snipes down, lurkers are falling already. We have 20 Overseers on the map here. That is a significant amount of Overseers. Let's take a look how he's doing with the Changelings. We have a bunch of Changelings now heading into the main base. Could potentially be blocking some key areas as well. Hold positioning on the ramp. We're going to get a Nydus over here. So he just kind of surrounds his own Nydus right now with those Changelings. At the same time, we still have an attack going in. How many lurkers do we have? We have 11 lurkers extra being added into the mix, bringing the total up to 17. Nydus Worm does finish up. Can pop out a couple of lurkers. And when I say a couple of lurkers, he's going to pop out 6, 7 lurkers at an instant. At the same time, we have a roach run by here. Tunneling Claws has also been researched, as these links are going to connect with the SCVs. Oh. My good friend, this is not looking great here for Clem all of a sudden. Clem still has a massive bank, but this getting up without any Liberators being out is going to be a massive issue. Armory gets blasted, the Starport is going to get blasted, eBay gets taken out. Luckily, the 3-3 upgrades have already finished up. Clem is going to go for the full retreat over here as more Changelings are making their way across the map. This army on the right side is going to get cleaned up by these Marines plus the Ghost Marauder. No Tunneling Claws is going to get used. We get a split of them units as the lurkers are still busting this base open. This area, which I earlier said is going to be a shoo-in eventually for Clem, will now get used for a Nydus Worm, which is very cool to see. We have an extra Nydus coming up for the escape as well. These lurkers have absolutely achieved their goal, created a lot of chaos, relieved a bit of the pressure, because let's not forget, Clem was putting on a lot of pressure and was ready to take out basically Rogue's 5th base. Now, however, it is Clem who wants to try to hold stuff. Okay, Overlord moving into position. Low ground lurkers dealing a lot of damage. Rogue is so freaking good at finding these locations on the map where he can just be insanely annoying. There's Nydus Worms going up everywhere. We have a triple Roach Burrow coming in. They still throw down a Nydus Worm, making sure that these lurkers are going to have another option to go towards. Right now we have 3 spots where they can pop out. 1, 2, and then this is going to be number 3. At the same time, we see this Overlord moving into the main base. There's more Changelings making their way across the map as well. They're going to provide even more options for extra Nyduses coming out, as this spot is still open. I wonder if it's going to see any use here. Currently, the lurker count is 11. I don't know how many there are in this Nydus. Okay, we have 7 in this Nydus. This Nydus is gonna get cleared. Still have this. Still have this. Planetary is fairly low. Another 30 or 40 Changelings are making their way across the map. We have 31 Overseers out right now. This is honestly, look at this. He's just going for it, man. Nydus coming out outside of tank range. Double Ghost, will it be good enough? Liberators are gonna siege on top of it. So double Lib siege up on top of a Nydus is like a very solid way of dealing with stuff. These roaches get cleared. Like, even if your lurkers do come out, they're just gonna get like instantly sniped by them Libs. You know, we have a Nydus now going down on top of the tanks. I mean, it's an interesting approach here out of Rogue. He's basically just skill checking Clem. He's saying, hey, if you're too slow with Liberators at any point, if you're too slow with unsieging, I'm going to get that Nydus up. I'm going to throw 14 lurkers into your main base. You're just going to lose the game at an instant, or you're going to take serious damage. Yeah. Rogue has enough of the skill checks and says, hey, what do you actually have here on the far right side? Do we have anything going up here? As more Changelings march across the map. And take a look at who the defender is right now. Compare it to 3-4 minutes ago, it is Rogue who is constantly in charge of what is happening next. It is not Clem who is deciding where the fights are going to be. Clem is playing a game of whack-a-mole, which he can't win, because these guys can pop out of anywhere, similar to the moles in whack-a-mole. But Clem, I'm not sure if his hammer is good enough. I guess with whack-a-mole, there's only a limited amount of holes they can come through. Here, everything is a hole. It's like you're actually trying to hunt real moles in a football field. My old football club always had an issue with moles and rabbits. They were really tricky to catch. It would be mole hills all over the football field, all over the football pitch. Very frustrating. As this base here is going to get taken out. This gold base is on the way up. I just don't really see a way. Dude, Rogue is actually skill checking Clem consistently with these Nyduses. He's saying, hey, if you just unsiege, you're going to be fine. However, if you're too slow and you can't control, you know, if you can't multitask as well as I can, you're just going to lose that tank and there's going to be 20 lurkers out there. That is such a sick move. I think that is the type of confidence that you need in order to beat Clem as well. It's like legitimately skill checking him. I think that is really sick. That is really sick. And this is how Rogue has always played. Rogue is not the type of player that plays like theoretically perfect. He makes his opponents try to play theoretically perfect. And if they don't, then they lose the game. Because he's constantly skill checking you. He just cleared a couple of changelings and accidentally shot a liberator of his own as well. We have 40 workers out for Clem right now. Rogue has a very significant bank, and resources lost. This doesn't even look so bad. If you compare this to the average Zerg, Rogue is doing pretty hot, to be honest. You have this left side base that's going up. This base is not going up for Clem. Gold is not mining, but it is here. I think this gold base is key. Rogue needs to get some mining going as he transitions into Banelings right now. And I've seen this particular transition frequently out of him, where the moment the Lurker mass Nydus changeling stuff kind of gets defended, he says, okay, we've had a good time there with the Nyduses. We had a good time with the Lurkers. How about 50 Banelings running into your base? How does that sound to you, buddy? And I'm not sure how good that is going to sound to Clem. I am not sure how good that's going to sound to Clem. As these changelings, once again, just going to provide quite a bit of vision on this army. Almost as if it's an oracle, you know, with that revelation, except instead of a revelation, it's just constant changelings running in. Clem is very diligent about cleaning them, but even he can't take all of them out all the time. APM, 494 for Clem here against the 356 of Rogue. These guys are playing fast as hell, let me tell you. Lurkers are setting up over here on the left side. We have a couple of tanks that are being taken out right now, but Liberators show up and will be capable of clearing up this Lurker attack. At the same time, we have a Hydra attack here on the lips, and these lips are being taken out. Call this Hydra attack Ben Shapiro, as the Banelings rolling forward might be capable of taking out a planetary, but will not go for it. Perhaps too afraid to commit there. Fair play. Fair play. We now have a Mutalisk on the way as well. That is a... I was going to say it's a misclick, but he also starts +2 air attacks. I don't know what this is for. I don't think Rogue knows what it is for yet either. But he's going to have it. He's going to have it. As the Nydus comes up, this planetary is toast. He should not finish it. I think this is a planetary that you cancel and then you lift. Because now what's... Ooh. Yeah, because now what's going to happen is these Lurkers are going to come out. And they're going to clear this base. And you can't lift it anymore. And it's freaking dead. Right, that is just the way of the world. There we go. Pop them out, baby. Pop them out. Oh, they're somewhere else. Where are they going? They just popped out of the Nydus. They just run out? Where are they? Okay, they didn't actually come out. That is surprising. Like, you get like 6-7 Lurkers there. This base is toast. Absolute toast. Toasting that base is a good plan. Okay, changelings are in here. Liberators not paying attention. Let's take a look at the first person here of Clem. There's 2 Nydus worms going down right now. Oh, this is the first person of Rogue. Here we go. Let's see, is Clem paying attention? Uh-oh, he is too late. He is too late. This tank is set up. Liberator needs to come back in as well. He's going to send his entire army back to deal with this threat. And at the same time, we have the Hydraling Bane on the right side. Let's take a look at how Clem is going to respond to this. Going to cloak a lot of units here. There's no Overseer, so that's a good call. But he's going to lose this planetary. He's going to lose even more workers, and his income is already quite pathetic. Can these Banelings get connections with the Ghosts? No, they can't. Look at the Overseer count. What the hell is this? 29 Overseers still alive. This was a good trade for Clem. Resource loss-wise, this was phenomenal. But this base is mining. This base is mining. And if this base gets mined out, I think a 7k resource loss deficit is not quite going to cut it. We have a lot of cash in the bank as well. And let's not forget that Rogue so far has been operating on an extremely high worker count. That means that his army hasn't been that big. Despite having a relatively small army, these fights have been really okay for him. He has been finding decent trades while being down 40 army supply this entire... 50 army supply almost this entire time. That is a big deal. Because the moment Rogue is going to get rid of these drones, which I think after this gold gets mined out, he probably wants to get rid of some of these drones. It's going to be a different type of game. Okay, he does run in over here. A lot of Banelings, 28. Bunch of Hydras, bunch of Lynx as well. Lots of Overseers, making it difficult to snipe, making it difficult to do anything. Changelings being dropped in there as well. Tanks in the back dealing a lot of damage. Are they going to be capable of getting all of these Banelings before he loses his Ghost? I actually think this was a fairly okay trade once more here for Rogue. Yeah, this was an efficient trade. Look at that. 7k is still the difference. Even a little bit less right now. It's 6.5. I think this was an okay... This was an efficient trade, which is really rare to see in these types of situations. But look at this. How much supply do we have just waiting around for Nyduses to get plopped down? We have a random Liberator over here. We have a couple of tanks here. We have like 3 Liberators here. We have another tank on the high ground. Like, that is so much supply that it's just waiting for a Nydus worm to go down that so far isn't really going down. Like, Clem is just consistently spreading static out to make sure that he doesn't die to the Lurker Nyduses, but then he dies to the main army despite being up 30-40 supply. Here comes another Nydus. Once again, just a skill check. This is nothing but a skill check. He's just keeping... Like, every single time he throws down a Nydus, it reinforces Clem's belief that using 30-40 supply to clear Nyduses is a correct call. I'm not sure if it is. I don't know if that is the correct call. Gonna zoom out over here. The amount of overseers that are here actually lagging the game a little bit for me. This is not a good look. This planetary is gonna get smashed. These banelings are gonna try to smash into those ghosts despite not seeing them. And slowly but surely, I think Rogue is getting good enough trades. He is still mining from this gold as well. Look at the banks that we have. We have 8k 4k, or 8k 3.5k versus 400 minerals. And what is that, like 1200 gas? Clem is mining 500 minerals a minute, despite one of the best starts that I've seen Clem have against a high-level player. He is getting absolutely blasted in this late game with just a single neutral base. Just a single neutral base. Changeling count on this map is insane. We have 51, we have 42 overseers. As Rogue is cleaning up, man. Rogue is cleaning up. Up 20, 30, 40 more changelings running in over here. Just blocking movement. Forcing APM out of his opponent. And what do we have in the main base? We still have 2 liberators. We have 4 tanks that I can see. We have another tank in the natural. We have a liberator here on the bottom right. We have still like 3 liberators over there. There's so much supply that is just not being used in these fights every single time. And it's allowing Rogue to take these ridiculous trades. This is not okay. A 7k deficit for the Zerg is not okay. This should be 10, 12, 13, 14k at this point. But Clem is not getting it done. And he usually does get it done. And that's what makes this so weird. Changelings here once again blocking the movement of the ghost. Hold position there on the changelings. And these ghosts are getting surrounded. GG. Sick. An absolute showcase of dominance there out of Rogue. And another thing I think that's really cool is that he also seems to be the only dude that plays like this. Like, the other Zergs, I'm not sure if they haven't caught on or they don't want to go, you know, toe-to-toe with Clem like that, but they ain't playing like it. They're not doing this changeling shenanigans at all. Like, I haven't seen anyone go as hard on it as he has, and it's honestly, yeah, it's cool to see. Inspiring. Truly inspiring. This time around, Clem's going to open up with a double Barracks Reaper. So he changes up the opener. I don't feel like the opener last game was a problem. Like, if we go back mentally in that game, it's not like, oh, wow. Like, Rogue had such a great early game. He was like 72 workers against 70 of his opponent. He was stuck on a Roach Hydra army. His opponent maxed out faster despite opening Roach Hydra. It's like, it was not a good start for Rogue. It really wasn't. It was a bad start. You give that position to any other Zerg and they're gonna die to Clem's first max out. It's just a fact. Rogue didn't. Rogue stayed alive, came back, some insane lurker Nyduses. And then once he gets into the banelings, he's freaking unbeatable. This guy is legit unbeatable when it comes to that stage. It is mental to watch. It really is something else. All right. Let's see if we can get into that similar setup once more. We have a couple of links out. Triple Reaper really didn't do a whole lot. This is a pretty scary moment, by the way, as a Terran player, specifically against a player like Rogue, because your add-ons are on the outside. So if you're playing against someone that is not capable of all-inning, then this wouldn't be so scary. But Rogue, you know, he's been known to Baneling bust every now and again. So Clem is going to remain vigilant here with his Reapers. I wonder if it's better to play like this. I think personally, 1 Reaper in the back, 1 in the front. So you get a little bit of a heads up and you can throw 1 grenade like over here and then the next grenade over here onto those Banes. Might have been, you know, might be a big deal or it would be a cool thing. And you can only lose a single Reaper. Like worst case scenario, it's going to get sniped by like what, 5, 6 links. But you're going to kill some of these links as well with your Marines. So I think it's going to be a good trade, like resource-wise, either way. Okay, he's now going to move out with both of these bad boys. We're going to move forward a little bit. Did not want to lower the depot, I guess, at the risk of, you know, being run at. This is going to patrol in this general area. Rogue, he has different plans, though. He says, really cool that you're playing so defensive, but I'm just going to clear those rocks. It's going to allow me perhaps to expand over here as a fort base. Is that going to be the plan? I think that might just be the plan. It's not a very common plan. This is with a triple CC. Clem's standard, obviously. Does not do anything of just double CC. Also doesn't really play any 2-base all-ins. I've been saying this for hours now, days. I've been thinking it for years, okay? I think Clem doesn't all-in enough. One of his biggest pluses as a player is having insane micro and having, obviously, also just good mechanics overall, I guess. But his micro is really sick. And I feel like not doing any proxy rexes, not doing any 2-base all-ins, is hurting him a little bit in the standard macro games as well. Like, he's not a player where you look at him, you're like, oh, he has a lot of scary builds. He's like, no, he has 2 builds. Like, he plays triple CC Banshee and triple Reaper, you know, that's it. Like, you look at someone like Beyond or Gumiho and Maru, like, these players, they have a way bigger range of build orders and still can fall back on that macro, despite being, in my opinion, inferior mechanical players, because they have this wider range of builds. They're just scarier to play against for Zergs opening-wise, you know? Clem is scared to play against because he has the best mechanics, he has the best late game, he has the best mid game, but like, if we look at his, like, at his build order variety, his diversity, I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's very big at all. And it's weird because I think in PvT it's actually quite large. He can play a lot of different things, and he understands that that's an upside, but I guess it's hard to, like, if your TVZ is this successful, you know, to kind of change up the openers. This is horrible. I mean, Rogue is just winning these battles here in the early game. Carapace is done now as well. He's going to go straight into Hydra Ling Bane, has triple hatcheries coming up. 61 workers to 59, so really, by any objective measure, this is a pretty crap early game once more for Rogue. Does not have a lot of units, or sorry, does not have a lot of drones. Does have quite a few units though, and has a quick carapace upgrade, which is a big deal in and by itself. It's going to push this back. Like, Rogue really needs to drone up to a decent worker count at this point. Like, what are we talking about when I say a decent worker count? Like, ideally we'd be, like, well on the way to 80 in my mind. Like, we want to be, yeah, we probably should have been at like 76 for at least 20-30 seconds already. That's not the case. It's going to add in a couple more units. Stays about even in worker count and is going to fall behind in upgrades right about now. It's going to be 1-1 against just 0-1. These Marines have combat as well. Banelings don't have the Baneling speed quite yet, so this was a phenomenal trade here as Clem tries to go into the main base. Spore's not ready. Spore's not ready. Queen's in a little bit of trouble as Rogue is trying to target this down, but at the same time is perhaps busy losing some drones over here on the left side as well. This is going to get pushed back, but now there's nothing on the low ground, and Clem is just ping-ponging in between the main and this 5th base, and potentially is even going to take out this 5th base. Banelings need to roll in forward. I don't think these Banelings will be in time. 2 Overlords go down, and this base will fall, putting Rogue back where he belongs on 4 bases. Is this an 8 Rex? No, it's just a really late 4th base, I guess. How many barracks do we have? We have 5 barracks. We have double factory. We have mines now coming out. Creep Threat is not looking healthy. Triple Hydras get sniped here. At least 2 out of the 3 will get sniped. Overlord gets taken out as well. This Marine is going to get Kerrigan behind, as once again Clem returns to this safe position off creep, where he can't really be caught. Still up the left side base for Rogue, of course, but Clem now pulling ahead in supply is pretty freaking scary for the Korean Zerg player. Running in with the Hydras and not even managing to snipe that tank. Does clear all of the mines, that's a big deal. Don't have muscular augments quite yet, that's why they're looking so darn slow. This base is fairly damaged too. There's no Banelings out on the map. I think this 4th base could potentially fall. I think this 4th base is very, very close to falling here. And if that 4th base falls, Clem is going to be in a much better position than his opponent. Tank is going to get sniped. Marines are a little bit too low. I think our next round of reinforcements, though, it is going to be very, very tricky for Rogue to hold this. Like, you bring 1 or 2 extra tanks over into this position. Do we have 2 extra tanks? No, we only have 1 extra tank. 3 extra barracks are coming in. More creep is being denied, making it even harder to retake this 5th. Like, the further the creep is back, the harder it's going to be to secure this base. At the same time, we do have a battle over here on the top side. These mines are not well spread out. We actually get some friendly fire off of those mines as well. Clem still winning the battle. And perhaps even eyeing to win the war here. Look at the resource lost. Double in favor of Clem as his +2 attack finishes up right now. His Ghost Academy is on the way. His 4th base is set up. Not a planetary yet, but it will happen soon. We have a lot of pressure on the far right side as well, as another medevac has been added into the mix with about 8 Marines. And this might actually manage to deal some damage to 9 kills on that bad boy. Right side now requires a little bit of attention out of Rogue. But at the same time, the left side is going to need more than just these 8 Banelings, because we have a fairly big army. We have a couple of mines here as well. This is still a fight partially on creep. Well, mine connections are not great, but neither were the Bane connections. We're going to have another 12 Marines and 2 mines showing up. If these mines get to, to rearm, then get another shot in, I am struggling to see how Rogue is going to win this game. I'm struggling to see how Rogue is going to hold this forward base. Okay, he's going to stabilize right now with lurkers. Do these lurkers have seismic spikes? No, they don't, so they only have 8 range. We're just kiting away. We're just kiting away, and I think Clem can just enter any position right now, and if he borrows like a mine and a half, there's only 4 Banes over here. If he gets to snipe those, it's pretty much game. One of the 4 Banelings is gone. 3 out of the 4 Banelings are gone. That means there's only a single one remaining. And with just a single Baneling remaining against such a large fort, I don't actually think Rogue has what it takes over here. Another stim, 5-6 medevacs for sustain. And I think Clem is taking the trade of a lifetime. Lurkers being sniped down as well. We have more units coming from the right side at the same time. 183 supply to 130. 5th base almost done. Rogue is struggling to keep his own fort alive. And whereas last game was honestly an impressive performance out of Rogue is staying alive. This time Clem said, hey, I want to give you a master class on how to die. And Rogue is a quick learner because he is dying at a very, very high pace. GG gets called as Clem ties up this series. I guess that is the beauty of StarCraft as well, is one game you can get absolutely destroyed and the next game you absolutely destroy. It's really to eat or to be eaten. And last game Rogue definitely did get eaten. Pretty much a mid-game victory there for Clem, in a fashion that we've seen him do many times before. I got a block here on that 3rd base. Rogue's gonna take the alternative 3rd, so that's okay. 4 links come out. Let's see if it's just gonna stick with the 4. Yeah, there's no 6 on the way, so it's going to be the 4-ling early game. See how many he can keep alive, as Clem always tries to take out as many as he can. But here, all 4 of them will manage to survive. We have a double inject to start with, so no early creep tumor. That is different from what we see most of the time out of Zerg players. Majority of the... Oh, gets Overlord before 2nd Queen as well. That is a significant delay here on that 2nd Queen, isn't it? Usually we get Queen into 2nd Overlord, but I guess he has different plans. Reaper is going to try to commit to something at least. Really curious how he's going to follow this up. It's definitely a different build order than we usually see. Very different. I'm expecting full drones right now. Okay, I got 4 over here. What are we doing with these guys? Drone, drone, drone. Overlord. Yeah, okay. He's just gonna go 3 Queen. This is super low Queen. He is playing super low Queen over here. Did throw a tumor in between the bases. We're not gonna get an inject in the main, which feels like a mistake to me. No, it's not. He's just gonna run down there. Just gonna run down there. Throw down a creep tumor down here as well. Now he has 3 Queens in the net, none in the main. And we add 2 more. Okay. What the hell is this? This looks cool as hell though. Different from what we usually see. That is the one thing that is certain. He's going to continue trying to throw down some tumors. I love the attempt there. The attempted snipe with the Reaper. But 1 Reaper into 3 Queens doesn't usually end very well for the Reaper. A couple of drones on the way as well. So there's 2 more links. Going to make sure that these Hellions cannot really achieve a whole lot. These drones are about to pop out. Let's see if we can keep him safe. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, barely manages to keep him safe. We have this Queen popping out over here. Do we still have anything in the main? Okay, we have another one in the main. So he's gonna go into a high Queen cell, but initially just stays super low. Very different. Usually we have almost constant Queen production out of Zergs, but Rogue does it a little bit different. We're gonna have a Cloak She coming out. 4 Hellions plus Reaper. See if they can get any damage down. I wonder if he tries to run by her. I don't think he will, because we have those links with the speed. First Banshee making its way over towards the 3rd base. Do we have a Spore in position? No, we don't. Now we got some Spores coming. Actually, is that blocking? No, it's not blocking. Spores are tiny. Don't block anything. This Banshee is gonna get... Ooh, look at that. That's gonna be 3 volleys there. 3 full volleys of the Queens on top of that. At the same time, these Hellions are getting some volleys to the head as well. Not the start, I think, that Clem dreamt of. This is looking very solid first 5 minute wise for Rogue. Gonna get 8 cars. Now once you get 8 cars you can start dealing some serious damage against Queens. We do have 1, 2, about to have 3 transfuses available. So I don't think in a direct battle against Queens Clem is going to fare very well. At the same time maybe a run by is a possibility. Oh, we have 14 links. I think 3 Queens plus 14 links should just be enough. Okay, there we go. A little bit more damage on these cars. We still have 8 cars, but some of them are pretty banged up already by the Queens. Gonna get a... no, not gonna get a drive-by over here either. We now have 20 links behind this. Honestly, seems to me like Rogue is just safe and secure. Here comes the Banshee, and these Banshees are gonna get taken out. Ooh, Link's now trying to move into position, making sure that the run-by into the third base doesn't happen. We have a 5-link split up towards the right side. Queen showing up. Link count is falling right now, as all the links have officially disappeared. Can we get an Evo Chamber? No, we can't. 3 drones going down, 5 drones going down. How many more can we get? 7. That is going to be it. 8 drones. Can he escape with those 4? I think he can't. Good blocking here out of Rogue. So he's going to lose 8 drones 6 minutes in and kill 8 Hellions for it. Also, of course, loses a bunch of his own links. I think this is a playable trade. Did he lose a Banshee too? Yeah, lost 1 Banshee. Okay, a little bit less good then, perhaps. See what drone count is that Rogue is getting up to. Pretty much pre-units. That is what we want to know. Okay, it's going up to 70, so it's already higher than in the previous game. I think previous game was like 60, 59, something along those lines. So it's 10 extra drones compared to that. We have a fast infestation pit as well, so we're straight up rushing into those lurkers. Off of Lingbane Hydra. 5th base coming down as well over here. Creep spread is not looking phenomenal on the bottom side of things, but might be okay anyway, as Clem is now running in forward. Are there enough banelings here? How many do we have? We have 0. There's going to be 9 on the way. If Clem just runs in, I think some of these queens might just end up falling. There's not a big enough link count. There's no banelings to deter this type of move in either. 1-1 is about to finish up. Here we go. Mine is going to connect with that Overseer. We have those banelings coming in. 1-1 finishing up in 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's a big marine count. He snipes 3 out of the 4 banelings, I think. And does get the pick up. Clem is supply block somehow, some way. Okay, we had a baneling run by going in over here, taking out 3 of these depots. It's going to perhaps stall the momentum a little bit, as you don't have continuous unit production the moment you lose 3 depots like that. 73 workers to 68. Not loving the spot here for Rogue. I really am not loving the spot here for Rogue. I think he's actually in a bit of trouble. Similar to the last game, like Clem... Oh my god, look how much cash Rogue has. What the hell is that? Dude, this guy is floating like 900 minerals 8 minutes in. That is a bad look as a pro. That is a very bad look as a pro. These Hydras are also going to be taken out here. Clem getting a lot of damage done. Combat shield not quite done yet. It's going to be done soon, as another queen is about to fall. Some of these marines are going to die. Okay, that was a very big win here for Rogue in my mind. We once again have the ping-ponging between the 5th and the main. We have units being split off into the main base. Can we keep this extractor alive? No, we can't. Can we get a hive going? No, we can't either. This fight is not that great for Rogue. At the same time, we have a spore over here on the 3rd. All queens go into the main base. A lot of Ling Hydra moving towards the bottom. Baneling count here is fairly small, but these marines are bruised and battered around. Yeah, the next stim is like a single bane hit away from dying, so Clem needs to be insanely careful here. He really does need to be careful. Queens are going to start moving in. Are going to tank a little bit of damage against them mines. Spores not going up in the main either. Could maybe move the spore from the main base at least towards the edge to have something there, but it's not what he's doing. Ooh. Might trying to burrow, but not quite working out. This is an okay battle perhaps for Rogue. Is it okay? There's a lot of links once more. The medevacs do head into the main base. No spore there. At the same time, we have the bottom side. Medevacs are fairly empty, so the sustain of this army is not as high as it once was. There's only 1 medevac with energy remaining. 10 SCVs going down behind all of this big baneling run by. I didn't expect it. More importantly, Clem didn't expect it. Does have a 4th base up already, but 13 workers is kind of a big deal. Did not manage to kill a whole lot over here. Loses a medevac and thus loses a bit of pressure. Hive is finishing up in 10 seconds as well. Do we have the lurker then already up? No, we don't. So probably going to be Vipers first. Vipers first, lurker then second. The splits are okay. Can he get a kill here on the medevac? No, he can't. 68 workers to 68. So if we are even workers, we need a close resource loss step. And right now it's looking okay. But I think in the near future it's not going to look quite as good. The more mines there's going to be, the better the upgrades will be, the harder Rogue is going to have to fight. As he runs in with those links. See what he's going to be capable of doing over here. Actually gets an okay trade against... Well, is that an okay trade? Loses all of his links and marines stay alive, so... As good as you can expect, I guess. Resource loss still fairly close. Can he snipe all of these medevacs? No, he can't. All of the banelings are being sniped, though, and that means that this army is not going to survive. I think Clem is just here to win. I think Clem is just here to win. once again, Rogue, without those roaches, not quite as secure in his mid-game, it seems like. This Baneling's not gonna get the connection, but neither will the Hydras to these units. Still no muscular augments either, meaning it's difficult to chase. No frenzy to catch up with these medevacs either. And this 5th base is toast as Clem runs in and is going to blast this one. Quite a bit of damage has been dealt, of course, by Rogue, managing to kill 13 workers, but it's just not good enough. Clem at the same time has just been getting better and better trades. Rogue on a very low worker count is just gonna get taken out over here. I don't see a world in which Rogue stays alive. Because once again, he's down 40 supply. He hasn't started his... Oh my god, he's still +1 carapace. I was gonna say he hasn't started his +3 carapace. He hasn't even started his 2-2 upgrades yet. Gonna have a couple of lurkers out right now, but good luck with that. Seismic Spines is a big deal, but I don't think it's big enough to overcome this type of a deficit. And Hydras are falling. We don't have any Banelings in the middle. Muscular Augments is halfway done. Baneling count is like 1.5 or something. I think the only chance here that Rogue has is if he accidentally kills an army, then runs across the map and wins with lurkers. But I don't think Clem is going to allow that as he snipes an infestation pit. He's going to lose this left side battle. Well, gets the pickup. And still gets a couple of kills with these mines as well. And yeah, GG is going to get called. Clem puts himself on match point. Kind of sad that this is potentially our last game. And also kind of sad that Clem has been denying us late games. Hey, don't do that, Clem. I like watching Rogue play late games. Like, Rogue single-handedly is going to make me upgrade my PC. Like, this guy is going to... Because of the freaking changeling stuff. Like, once he gets up to like 30, 40 overseers and like 120 changelings, like me, Clem is in trouble, but my PC is also in trouble. He's going to start lagging. Not a fan of that. This guy is going to make me slam down the big bucks here for these graphic cards. Surreal stuff, Rogue. Why would you do that to me, man? What's wrong with you? Okay, what do we have over here? I'm just fully expecting triple CC Banshee. Like, I'm fully expecting triple CC Banshee. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I believe that Zerg should have a stronger counter to triple CC Banshee. Triple CC Banshee is too powerful without dealing damage, and it's too powerful as a standard. I think there's too little like kind of soft counters to this build, where you can get significantly ahead. Like, if someone were to tell a Zerg player, your opponent is going to play triple CC Banshee, then there's really not a whole lot where it's like, okay, I'm gonna make this game into a 60-40 or a 55-45 in favor of me. It doesn't really exist, which is sad. I think this type of interaction should definitely happen. Like, if you play safe and solid, you need to pay a price somewhere. You know, people should be capable of getting an advantage for free against the safe and solid play. You know, the rock, paper, scissors between greedy, all-in, and safe. It needs to be there. You know, that rock, paper, scissors. But when it comes to triple CC Banshee, it doesn't feel like it's there. Like, it doesn't feel like there's something you can really, you know, exploit in that case. It's just a good economical build that has enough pressure to keep the Zerg honest, which is frustrating to watch at the high level, I think. But I don't know, you don't hear anyone complain about this. I guess because the individual units in that build aren't necessarily overpowered. It's not like, oh, the Hellions too good, oh, the Banshee is too strong. It's like, no. There's something just about this build that makes it frustrating to watch them. Ooh, Clem's gonna play something else though. This is 4 Hellion 2-1-1. 2 Hellion 2-1-1. 4 Hellion 2-1-1. 4 Hellion 2-1-1. Triple CC. Late second cast. Well, late second cast. It's a finely timed. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that second cast timing. You're okay just how you are, buddy. Alright? You'll do fine in this role. You deserve to live just as much as the other guys do. The other gases. Even if you're a little bit slower. That's what my mom always told me as well as a kid. Because I was a little bit slower than you. Actually, I was really quick as a kid. I'm lying. I was the second fastest in high school. Not in high school, in elementary school. In my class. I was really quick. Like a good runner. But then I started growing like a lot when I was like 12, 13. And my knees started hurting a little bit. Like for like a period of time. I lost a lot of speed during that period. And I grew a lot. Like a small, like one. I wonder how, when I stopped growing. Maybe I was like 15 or so. I think I was like 190, 195. Yeah, my knees. I just lost speed. I also started running less outside. You know, I got used to computer gaming. Freaking Warcraft 3 ruined my running career. That's all I'm telling you. Okay, we have double medevac over here coming out. What the hell is this? Supply block Hellion? Oh, he's going to Armory. Oh, he's going to Hellbat push. There's no Baneling Nest. I'm not saying this is gonna work, but... 8 queens. Okay, we're gonna need to pull all queens forward, probably. Even the one from the natural. Maybe even the one from the main. This is going to be a fairly committed push. It will have 5 Hellbats. How many Marines? 14 Marines with Stim. What is our unit count right now? I think we had some SCV cuts as well, no? 47 feels low. This hits like a freaking truck. Holy crap. It's delaying his own upgrades by a significant margin. This is scary. This is really scary. All queens need to come forward. Lings need to be in position too, but there's no Banelings. Banelings are the answer to this, but they're not here. Okay, here we go. Transfuses need to be very solid. Target fire needs to be on the Medivacs or on the Hellbats. Oh, first transfuse misses. Second transfuse hits. Still have a lot of transfuses on this bad boy in the front, but the Lings are disappearing. Medivac control is phenomenal. It's great. Queens are going down at a high pace. 4 Hellbats are still alive. There's not going to be any splash over here, and majority of the Marines are still alive. We got our third stim in this battle, and I think this is going to be it. Clem wins the series with a 3-1 score after getting blasted in the first macro game. He wins by just being better in the first 10 minutes.